Today I'm going to give you a few different mentalities that I believe every successful investor should use. Yes, these mentalities and philosophies on investing have saved me thousands of dollars, no joke. So go ahead and grab yourself a cold drink, hang tight, and let's get started. Welcome back, YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, we're going to be discussing a few different mentalities and strategies that you can use to become a more successful investor. Now, if you've been following my channel for the last few days, precious metals and the miners have been getting slapped around. Every time I look at my phone, I'm getting slapped around with a different red percentage, and my whole portfolio looks like it's on fire. Which during these times it can be very difficult, right, to cope with the fact that you, on paper, have lost a decent amount of money. However, I want you to take that mentality and throw it out the garbage. This is not the way that we should be thinking. So first off, I really want to prioritize, you need to have patience. You're not going to be making quick money overnight with any investment unless you get lucky. Let's be honest. There are millions of people that decide to invest their money, and only a handful can say that they've become overnight millionaires on one single investment. If you look at the chart of any spectacular investment, it's typically up and down, up and down, up and down, with a general trend upwards. And it's hard to sometimes visualize this, especially when you're caught in the middle of all of the bouncing up and down, but this is really important to remember. You are thinking about the long game, not the short-term gain. Now this carries us into the second thing that I want you guys to consider, right? Having strong hands. Along with being patient, if you truly believe in the fundamental analysis of your investment, then you should be willing to hold on to that until you believe it is fairly valued or valued enough for you to sell. I've done this so many times. I've done the research, I find a great investment, I feel like I found a diamond in the rough. I put my money into it, and what happens? A few days go by, and I get discouraged that the price has been going down and down and down. Those days turn to weeks, and pretty soon I feel so disappointed about my investment that I just say, you know what, I can move this capital somewhere else and it'll do fine. And what ends up happening? You sell, and then your stock ends up flying up as soon as you are out of it. I literally can't even tell you how many times that has happened, but I learned from my mistakes a few years ago, right? Since then, I've been consistent with my strategy, and it has helped me tremendously. And that's the point that I want to make today. The strategy that we use when we accept these two mentalities is called dollar cost averaging. And with dollar cost averaging, it is one of the greatest investment tools, especially for smaller investors. Because we don't have a ton of capital available to just throw into any investment, we really need to have a strategy that helps us incrementally invest our money into our favorite stocks, equities, or assets. Now for me personally, I have a handful of stocks that I stick with. I continue to stay up to date with the news with these stocks, what the team is doing, their management, the profits, and that is enough of a workload for me as it is. So what I do is I dollar cost average into these companies. So when we see gigantic red days like this, those are opportunities for me to go in and purchase some more. Again, I also shared the philosophy of every time that you see the stock market red, that should be making you happy, right? Everything is on sale. It doesn't make sense that, retail shoppers can smile when they see an object or something that they want is on sale in the store, but when their stocks are on sale, they usually frown. Why? Well, because on paper it looks like they've lost money. But really, your dollars just become stronger and you can buy more equities with them. That's how I look at it. Now with dollar cost averaging, we can see from this article here that it is one of the most powerful tools for incrementally getting your capital into the market. In fact, it takes away a lot of the behavioral variances. We see a lot of these stocks like GameStop and AMC going parabolic overnight. Right? It's hard not to want to jump in and get some of those gains. But when we dollar cost average, we deliberately say, I'm going to invest X amount of capital into this asset over a given period of time. And it eliminates any of those behavioral variances, like I said. Now, this helps us do a number of things. A, it helps us be consistent. B, it also helps us remain patient. If we have a set plan, we typically don't want to change anything until we see that plan come to fruition. So when we have a plan to dollar cost average into a company until we believe it is fairly valued, we will continue to do that. When we take away all of the stress of trying to time the market, which to be honest is literally impossible, right? No one can really time the market. And if you do, again, like I said, there are a few people that can time it perfectly, and they're very fortunate to have got it right on the spot. But with dollar cost averaging, it allows you to continue to invest periodically without any emotional factors, right? I can literally press a button that says, okay, invest this much money into this company no matter what. And at times, your money will buy more shares, right? When the stock price is down, your money can afford more. And when the price is up, well, you can afford less. But if the price is going up, then you should be making money. Now that's because your asset hopefully is going to continually, gradually go up. If you are dollar cost averaging into this, hopefully you are going to be buying both the highs and the lows. That's just how it works. But in the end, if your asset price keeps gradually going up, you are going to be on top with your investment because you were consistent, you started early, and you took all the emotional stress out of it. It's kind of just like you're a robot, right? Beep, beep, beep. So now that we have a plan, here's a couple more things that you can do to really up your game. And in fact, it's really not that hard at all. One of the things I love to do is to always keep about 10% of my investment portfolio in cash for big red days only. I've got my plan to dollar cost average in. I'm trying to be patient. I've got a plan. I'm being consistent. I'm doing everything as perfect as I can do it. But on top of that, I also want to keep some extra cash on red days like we've seen in the last few days, right? Especially when we look at silver and some of the miners that I'm invested in. I would never be able to tell you that I saw this coming. However, I can tell you that I was prepared to buy in a little bit here and there. I don't deploy all of it, but when I see gigantic red days like this where the pain feels real and it hurts your soul, that's when I go in and I say, take the emotion out of it. Let's buy some more shares because I am betting that in however long period of time, those shares are going to be more expensive and I'm going to get a return on my investment. But again, guys, today I just wanted to give you a couple different mindsets and strategies that you can use starting tomorrow, right? Or today, depending on where you're at, to make you a more successful investor. These strategies have sure helped me tremendously. And ever since I made those mistakes a couple years ago where I would panic, I would sell, I would invest based on my emotions and behavior rather than having a set plan, that is when I became a more successful investor. Again, guys, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you could please hit that like and subscribe button, it really just helps spread the message. Again, if we can just get everyone thinking like this, where we take the emotion out of it, we make rational decisions, the world would be a better place. Also, while you're at it, if you are interested in getting 10 free dollars towards your next gold and silver purchase, you can go ahead and use the one link down below, right? This is gonna help you get started. If you don't have a lot of capital, well, 10 free dollars is almost half of an ounce of silver right there for free. But anyways, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys again on the next one. Take care, have fun, peace out.